Hey, fellow Dadpreneurs, Adam Dukes here, and we got episode number 2 of the Dadpreneur Freedom Show. Brought to you by Total Dads, TotalDads.com. There's a link down below. Go check it out. After the show, this second episode is with a gentleman by the name of Jeff Putnam. He's a guy that him and I connected on Twitter earlier this year. He actually just started Twitter January of this year. He's got about 7,500 or 8,000 followers, I think. He's done really well, and he also launched his very first business earlier this year. So Jeff is married, 9 kids, works a full-time job, and still finds time to run 2 businesses. So I think you'll like this episode. You'll see, as soon as the episode starts, you'll see how Jeff is practicing what he preaches. He's very efficient with his time in the location where he's shooting this interview. Let's get right to it. The show, we got Jeff Putnam, and I'm here. He is in his car while his wife gets his hair done. Thanks for squeezing some time in your little mobile studio there, Jeff.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you inviting me on.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, where are you based? Little backstory. Where are you based? What type of business do you got? How long you been doing it?
I am based in the beautiful upstate of South Carolina.
Okay.
Not far from the North Carolina line, kind of in the foothills. I've got a 9-to-5 in automotive manufacturing that I'm balancing with my family. My primary business, Rugged Legacy Grooming Supply. Men's grooming products from beard balms, pomades, body wash, just everything that you could possibly find in a bathroom. Yeah, we make it. Secondary, hoping to grow that, is the unemployables. Nick Lowry, Dan Cosmal, and myself went in on a partnership for helping entrepreneurs become better entrepreneurs, going through those growing pains that we've gone through. And so, yeah, we're trying to make other people's dreams come true.
Okay, great. No, I love it. And you said balancing family, and I know you have quite a few kids. How many kids you got?
Got 9. Got
okay.
8 boys and 1 girl.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that was the ratio. Oh, wow. That is
really glad it's not the other way around.
Yeah, no, I get it. So I've been kind of watching Rugged Legacy grow, and I think I was there from the infancy watching it on Twitter. How did it come about?
I've always wanted to run a business. I've always wanted to have something that I created. And I was always, I don't really know how to do anything. So, because I've worked construction. I thought about having a construction company, subcontractor gig, things like that. But wasn't really anything that I could run with. It just feel like I was being fulfilled. So, obviously I'm bearded, slick haircut. And I was like, well, I like these things, but I can never find the products that, 1, aren't riddled with chemicals, and 2, don't make me smell like a 14-year-old boy on prom night. So I started making my own just for personal use, and I kept getting compliments. Man, it smells good. Oh, man, it's awesome. I was like, well, shit, people want it. I'll just start selling it. Oh. And it grew from there. I started Rugged Legacy. Well, I conceived the idea of Rugged Legacy January the 19th of this year.
Okay.
So we're about 9 months in.
Okay. No, awesome. Yeah, and I know you had a recent Kickstarter. It's been going. I think it just ended in the last 24 hours or so?
Well, there's 9 days left.
Okay.
I'm currently 483% funded.
Dang, how awesome is that?
I set a super small goal. I wanted to release 8 new products, and that was fulfilled in 2 hours.
Wow.
So I called my designer back, and now I've got 17 products, a custom WordPress website, digital magazine, sample kits for retailers, all in the works, hoping to have everything done with a hard deadline of November 22nd.
Okay. And a lot of that came from, where'd those backers come from?
A lot of them came from my followers on Twitter.
Okay.
And the Fraternity of Excellence.
Okay.
Brotherhood of Men that I wish I had been a part of 20 years ago when I was just a shit stick milling around. But, solid group of guys founded by Greg James and Hunter Drew, bringing men together to support each other in their missions and make each other better men, fathers, husbands, and it's just been a hell of a thing, man. I really enjoy it.
Awesome. Well, you obviously have, with 2 businesses, 9 kids, a wife, you got to have some hacks. Do you have like a morning routine that you, in a job, do you have a morning routine that you follow?
Yeah, my day is pretty much the same every day, minus when I don't have to work like today. I'm usually up between 4 and 5 and use that time to, splash water, get cleaned up and make coffee, black coffee, thick black coffee. And usually I just go and I sit on my porch for about an hour, smoke my pipe, drink my coffee, maybe throw a couple of tweets out and just kind of relax in that solace to get my head together for the day. And pretty much all I do outside of, getting the kids up at 6, getting them ready for school, I leave at 6:30. Then I'm at work from 7 to probably 7. And then I come home. I've got about an hour and a half I just devote to hanging out with the little kids before they go to bed. Teenagers, up a little later than that. And then I've got another hour or 2 to spend with my wife before she goes to bed. I'm usually in bed by 12, but I'll take those last little bit of hours to kind of see what I got to get done for the next day. Because while I'm at work, at my 9 to 5, I'm working on Rugged Legacy. I'm working on the unemployables. I do all that within that 12-hour window. So I've got 36 hours worth of work in one 12-hour day.
I see. Okay. Yep. Makes sense. Yeah, and going out on your own, there's a lot. I talk with a lot of people, entrepreneurs, and it's such a mental game, and I didn't really realize that till 5 years into the journey. How do you deal with? Do you deal with self-doubt, and if so, how do you overcome it? How do you overcome it, and how do you deal with it?
Well, for the longest time, my self-doubt pretty much crippled me. A little bit of a backstory. Back in, let's say 2010, kind of in the middle of the decline in the market and everything, my wife and I and my kids, we lost everything. We were living in a hotel. And me not being able to provide for them, I ended up kind of a downward spiral of self-destruction. I went to a few dark places. And one day I just said, it's got to stop. So I'm going to have this irrational faith in myself that I'm also going to be okay if I crash and burn. If I die, hell, at least, my wife and kids will get more money than I'm bringing right now through survivor's benefits. But I'm just going to friggin' grind. And, man, living out in West Texas at the time, it's the desert, and jobs are hard to come by. So I got a job on a day labor crew making like $56 a day, working 10 hours a day, slinging a sledgehammer. I did that and kept us afloat until I moved back out to South Carolina, where I'm originally from, found a job in automotive manufacturing, and I've been doing that for the last almost 6 years now.
Okay.
But once you go through something like that, I mean, hell, the worst that can happen is you die.
Yeah.
And you can't do that more than once as far as I know.
Yes.
But I don't know, man. Now I just have this irrational faith that even if it doesn't work out, it's cool. I'll bounce back. And if I don't, at least I'll go down in a blaze of glory. What's that? Come back with your shield or on it.
Yes. Yep. No, I love that term, irrational faith. I haven't heard that before. That sums it up nicely. I like that. So what?
Well, all faith is irrational if you think about it.
That's true.
But you got to have it in yourself if you're going to get out of that bubble.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. So what hurdles have you faced personally, I guess since starting Rugged Legacy just a few short months ago?
Not knowing anything about running a business.
Okay.
Yeah. But when I was starting to get, my feet back under me, Nick Lowry and Dan Kosmala came to me with the idea for the unemployables, and I was like, well, the best way to learn something better is to teach it.
That's true. Yep.
So
that's true. Yep.
We started the unemployables in 2 weeks. From the idea to the launch, it took us 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
To launch that. Yeah, to launch
That's
that
awesome.
LLC. And, I've learned a hell of a lot more. I'm still learning more every day.
Yep.
But not knowing anything about what I'm doing and then trying not to spread myself to a point where I'm not spending any time with my wife and my kids, letting things fall apart. And that's a constant balance.
Mm-hmm.
Every day I go, ooh, I need to back off here. Ooh, I need to step up here. So it's just one of those.
Yep. No, absolutely. And then how'd you learn? Just trial by fire, networking with the guys on Twitter?
It's pretty much all of that.
Yep.
I just started moving. When I realized it wasn't working, I shifted a little bit to a different angle and tried that. And then I'd ask for help. And
yep.
Well, you can do anything, really.
Yes. Yep. No, makes sense. What, in your opinion, what's the reason most people, would you say, give up on their entrepreneur dreams?
Well, aside from the lack of irrational faith, I don't think a lot of people are comfortable with failing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And as an entrepreneur, you fail every day. Every single day you fail. Unless every day you set a new sales record or a new client acquisition record, or you land, whale accounts every single day, you're failing every single day. And a lot of people can't handle that. You have to make it okay. You have to be okay with failing. That's kind of how it's been a little bit easier for me, because I made that decision a long time ago. Well, I'm going to try, and if I fail, I fail.
Yep.
But, some people they get, 1 ounce of failure and they can't handle it because they're too self-absorbed into their ego, where they take a hit and they're done. Yep.
Yep. Yeah. And I'd argue if you're not failing and you're winning day after day, you're not aiming high enough. You're setting the bar way too low. So
exactly.
You have to fail. It's part of it. And I think a lot of it, unfortunately, and I've struggled with it before, is the fear of judgment. Your parents or your spouse or your neighbors or your boss or your cousins or your kids or your friends from high school that you don't even really care about. But what if I fail? What if they see me? What are they going to think of me? They don't give a shit either. I doubt that they give a shit, but some reason that we get all caught up in our head.
Yeah, you got to be okay with looking stupid.
100%. So self-awareness is a big thing being an entrepreneur. What is the strength of yours?
I can, and it's based, if you talk to Paul Dominic, it's basically a superpower. I can talk to anybody.
Okay.
No matter where they're from, what they do, what their views are, I can walk up, and my wife hates this, because I can walk up to a perfect stranger and have a conversation that lasts like 3 hours.
Wow. Okay.
I'm really good with, in dealing with people. And I think that's why Rugged Legacy's been able to grow like it is, because I like to interact with people that buy from me, and they send me emails, DMs, ask questions, and I just love talking to them. And so that's something I've always been able to do. I can read people, I can deal with people, and I can engage with anybody.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great skill. Great skill to have. Speaking of on Twitter, what you've grown quite a tribe in the last, let's say this year alone. What's your number one Twitter tip to growing a tribe, I should say?
Well, I've only been on Twitter since January 21st.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I think I'm just under 8,500 right now. And
okay.
I don't it's hard for me to wrap my head around that 8,500 people want to know what the hell I have to say. But number one Twitter tip, I would say, engage. If you're always just retweeting people or reaching out to, these giant whale accounts like the AJ Cortez's and the Ed Lattimore's, you might get some notoriety, but people want to follow you. If you are just putting your daily life on Twitter. You put something that is authentically about you, not me trying to be the next AJ or the next Ed or the next Hunter or the next Jesus. whatever. You know, you put out something that's from you.
Mm-hmm.
People that are like you and resonate with it will follow you.
Okay.
But you have to be bringing something about you. You know, if your Twitter account is nothing but complaining about politics or complaining about the weather or complaining
mm-hmm.
about your food, no one's going to care. They just get tired of you bitching all the time.
Yep.
But you can provide something. I mean, look at Chief Chuck. He provides dad jokes, and everybody
mm-hmm.
loves it, laughs it up. And then he'll throw in that old man wisdom. You know,
yep.
oh, by the way, make sure your shoes match your belt. You know, this good shit that people can take from and engage and stop being so damn negative.
No, love it. Love it. Makes sense. That's not just Twitter. That's life. Quit complaining. Quit bitching. Quit being so negative. You know, no, I 100% agree with you there. What's the most surprising thing about running a business? Something that you didn't expect?
How much fun it is to be stressed out.
Okay. I like that.
That's a really weird thing to say, but you know, it's like standing in the middle of a volcano taking pictures going, this is awesome. This is incredible. I might die, but this is awesome. You know, it's great.
No, I like that. That's a great comparison. What has been the most effective marketing tactic for Rugged Legacy?
Man, it's been word of mouth.
Okay.
One guy bought something, and another guy said, ooh, I'll try it. And then another guy said, ooh, I'll try it. And next thing you know, it's kind of like with Roman McClay. You know, people are just posting pictures of every time they buy Rugged Legacy, talking about how good it is, how great it is, how awesome it smells. And everybody sees that. So, I mean, my army of rugged Legites,
okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, they're doing the work just because the value in the product.
Okay.
Really.
Yep. Makes sense. What's the one thing, if you could go back, I know you got started as an entrepreneur, or at least this year. What's the one thing you tell yourself January? I think you said 24th Rugged Legacy launch, January 25th?
January the 19th is when I had the idea. It didn't really launch until March.
Okay. What would you, if you could go back, like say January 1st of this year, and one piece of advice you could give yourself about Rugged Legacy?
Oh, man. One piece of advice I would give myself is it's going to get crazy. Be prepared for it.
Mm-hmm.
And make sure you don't lose sight of the direction you're going in. Because I've done that a few times because you start to get pulled in a lot of different directions with all these different options because
mm-hmm.
there are no limits to the options you have as an entrepreneur. So you have to make sure that your vision is on point and precise, and you're always moving towards that without getting pulled too far in a different direction.
Yep. Yeah, that's the biggest thing is pulling in a different direction. There's a Warren Buffett documentary years ago, and they asked what's the secret to the success. Warren Buffett was there, Bill Gates. It was in like the early 80s. All these successful people. They said, what's the secret to your success? And people wrote down, a paragraph. It was all these successful businessmen and women. Warren Buffett and Bill Gates both wrote down the same thing. It was one word. They weren't sitting next to each other. They weren't copying off of each other. It was one word. It was the same word, and it was focus. That was their secret to success. So-called secret to success. Two of the richest men in the world was to focus. And being this online entrepreneur with so many different options, it can get very difficult on sticking with that path. Having that vision, like you had mentioned, and not getting distracted by maybe the easier money, the faster
shiny object.
Exactly. No, it's an everyday struggle for a lot of people, myself included. I've fallen in the trap. Oh, this looks easier. I'll try this. Or flashier or sexier or whatever. But putting in the work, doing it day in and day out. It's over time. It's not going to be sometimes it's not going to be the sexiest thing. But just doing it day after day, that repetition, that whole consistency thing.
Yeah.
All right, last question here. It's a left field one. I'm a rap and hip hop fan. So Tupac or Biggie?
Man, I squashed that rivalry and beef a long time ago. I've got both on my playlist.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, you know what? They were friends.
Yep.
You know what? They're friends now, at least on my playlist. But my playlist is insane. You guys don't want to be on my playlist. I've got everything from like Mogwai, to they're an instrumental band. Wardrop, which is a Norse folk music.
Oh wow, okay.
I've got Tech Nine. I've got Amon Amarth with Viking death metal, all the way to freaking Tupac and the Goo Goo Dolls. Then every now and then I'm like, you know what? I want to hear some epic scores. You don't want to be on my playlist, man. It's like there's like 78 people in my head.
Okay. No, I get it. My sister and I joke around about our playlist, and we call it like the schizophrenic playlist. You know, like you said, it'll have, the Goo Goo Dolls and rap and folk, and it'll just be, 78 people in your head, basically. No, I get it. All right. So I guess the final question, where can we find out more about you?
Well, you guys can follow me on Twitter.
Okay.
At rugged_legacy. You can follow the official Rugged Legacy store account, which is at Rugged Legacy _.
Okay.
I'm on Instagram at Rugged Legacy Grooming, and you guys can check out my blog on ruggedlegacygrooming.com.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and I'll put links to everything down below, so it'll be easier to just click and check Jeff out. Order the products if you got yourself a nice beard and you don't want to smell like a 14-year-old boy on prom night. I like that one. Hey, man, I appreciate you taking the time in the you're obviously an efficient man with your time, with 9 kids, a wife, a job, 2 businesses, and you're doing an interview here in the car while your wife gets. So you're practicing what you preach, man. Leading by example, I guess.
Yeah. One thing I want to add: unemployables.co. You guys can find me and Nick Lowry, the owner of Ground Shark Coffee Co. Wake up like you mean it. Really want some good coffee. You can find us there if you're interested in becoming a member of the Unemployables, wanting to start your own venture as a freelancer, physical product business. We've got guys in there that are doing all the above, and we love helping other people rise up their level of entrepreneurship so they can become as successful as they want to be. Awesome.
Love it. Yeah, having that group, that band of brothers or women, if they're whatever it is in there, is so important. It's just it can be such a lonely game. And a lot of people think they're by themselves. They're on this island, and like I said, it's such a mental game, and having surrounding yourself with the people to uplift you, because a lot of you're in what is it, IRL, the real life friends that. Yeah. If they're not entrepreneurial spirit, they're probably not going to be as supportive as you need. And the online people are going to be more supportive. So yeah, definitely check it out, because having that group of camaraderie to lift the spirits, inspire, guidance, support, motivation, whatever it is, it's extremely, extremely helpful. So, hey, like I said, man, thanks for your time. I do appreciate it. Enjoy your weekend.
Sure, I appreciate you having me on, man.
Absolutely. Thanks, man. There you have it, folks. Mr. Jeff Putnam, the interview. Appreciate his time, and your excuses of no time, they don't work here. Jeff has found time with his wife, 9 kids, 2 businesses, and working a 9 to 5. So the no time excuse doesn't work here. And then also the no money. Jeff has bootstrapped this Rugged Legacy beard grooming thing along the way, using Twitter, using his influence, using his following to provide. He obviously has an excellent product. I don't need it because I don't have a beard. It would take me probably 27 years to grow a beard. But he puts out great products, and then I've also seen him deliver excellent customer service. I've seen people talk about the excellent customer service he delivers. So no time, no money. That shit doesn't work here. Those are just excuses. Hopefully you're inspired like I am by Jeff himself. Hey, I release these Dadpreneur Freedom shows every Saturday. It's a new thing that I'm doing. I also release training videos every Monday and Thursday. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Click that little bell notification. It will alert you every time I release a new video for your viewing pleasure. As always, if you have comments, questions, or concerns, drop them down below, and I'll do my best to answer them. If I can't answer them, I'll try to point you in the right direction, the right resource, or find someone that might be able to answer the question for you. Once again, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it.